Well, it's time to deal with our double dungeon mob grinder contraption. Here it is, one of the rarest things in Minecraft. It's a double dungeon. Even more rare, it's right on the surface, like a couple of blocks under the dirt. See that? It was covered in trees. I removed the trees because mobs will spawn within 16 blocks of a mob grinder. Those cages with the fire coming out of them are called mob grinders. I put a torch on top of each one because mobs don't spawn in light. So having a torch on top keeps it from spawning. I dug a trench all the way around the edges because sometimes to lure you toward a dungeon, there's goodies like iron or sometimes even gold, even this high up, just to get you to come toward there. But I didn't see anything. Eventually, I'm going to go 16 blocks in all directions and make sure there are no pockets that mobs can spawn in. Those trenches will be filled, and the top is completely lighted. That block of dirt you see in the air has a birch tree on top with a jack-o'-lantern in it to help light it, but all the corners of the top are lighted too. You see that green stone in the bottom? That's very rare, and it only occurs in computer-generated, game-generated structures like strongholds and dungeons and so on. So it's something you really want to keep as a souvenir. And I have to dig it out anyway. I'll have to dig out 2 blocks under the mob spawners themselves so that I can place water down there without drowning my mobs. So all that goes. See, that one's a skeleton. The faster they spin, when they start spinning fast, another skeleton's going to pop out. This one is a zombie. Again, it's the faster it spins, when it starts spinning fast, skeletons come out. Here I am collecting my stone. Here's a eternal water. 4 blocks, 2 by 2. Put 1 bucket of water in one corner and 1 bucket in the opposite corner. When the water is still, that means it's an eternal source. So I only needed 2 buckets to do this whole thing. I still didn't plan this very well, and you'll see why as we go along. Put some water in that corner. Skip 1 block. Put some water in the third corner. The third block. And in the fifth block. The blocks in between will be eternal water supplies too, and you can dip from them without them going dry. Remove the eternal water supply. See the zombie spawn? Break that. That's the loot chest that came with it, treasures. Just make sure that the loot can float. And here's what it looks like inside. It's very, very dark. The skeleton spawner won't be quite as dark. You'll see why in a minute. But it'll be dark enough. I was checking to see if there was any obstruction. There's 1 block right there, but I think they're all going to be crowding into each other and bumping each other and fighting each other so much that that's not going to be a problem. They will still jostle their way to the front. They're compelled to come toward me. Or if I were a villager, the zombies would be compelled to come toward a villager. 8 blocks later, a piece of water turns into a blade like that. So dig your hole down 2 things from 8 blocks, too deep down, because you're going to have to be under them. Right now I'm making glass, and this is why I like keeping saplings. I had an odd number of sand. I only needed 2 pieces of glass. But I put the saplings in. 2 saplings cook 1 thing. And you can see it finished, and that's a block of glass. When I had a whole big batch of glass after I did a bunch of other stuff, I collected it. It gave me XP, experience points. Then I put 6 pieces of glass uh, horizontally, and it makes glass panes. Pick it up with your left mouse button, put it down, click your right mouse button, it'll split in half. So that's how you split your stack in half. Now I'm making sure it's down too deep because I have to be below the water level. Now I put the glass in. You see how I can peek under there and see the water? And I built a little tunnel-like thing over the whole top of it, also to protect me, because if the monsters are turned on, then I could be attacked from behind. Set my difficulty from peaceful to easy, go back to the game, and wait a few seconds. I looked around, there's a cave back there. I looked around to make sure nothing was coming up behind me. And in a second, there, see it flared? That means the skeleton spawned. Now the skeletons started fighting with each other. They sound like rattling bones and a little like xylophones, and they also sound um, like bows being shot. That whoosh sound. The moaning and growling is the zombies. See all the green balls? That's XP, experience points. Here comes the bones, that's the drops. The drops from skeletons are bones and arrows. Occasionally a magic bow. If they're wearing armor, you might get a piece of armor. That orangey looking stuff was rotten flesh from the zombies. Zombies drop rotten flesh. Occasionally they will drop an iron ingot or whatever else they're holding in their hand. And if they pick things up, they will steal your weapons and kill you with them. If you die and your weapons fall, you can come back and find a zombie holding your beautiful enchanted diamond sword and kill you with it. So I collected zombie flesh, bones, arrows, and I even got an iron ingot. They're fighting each other. The skeletons are attacking each other, and they're also attacking the zombies. And I'm getting plenty of zombie flesh, which is good for when I domesticate a wolf. I need bones to domesticate the wolf, and there goes the iron ingot. And I can use rotten flesh to feed the wolf. When it gets injured, you feed it a little bit of meat. Its tail goes from low back up to high. There's the iron ingot. Rookie mistake, I didn't bring enough swords. I should have brought several stone swords. And look at my hunger bar right now. And look at my health. It's starting to go down. And I didn't notice. I've been playing on peaceful too long. When your hunger goes down below 2 meat pops, if you get injured, you can't recover. And I'm in danger right now, and there's a cave behind me. And I will at some point. You'll hear a hissing sound. That would be a spider, just a random spider out there somewhere. It also turned dark, so see, I heard the spider, and anyway, I still haven't figured out that I'm starving. So anything could have come up behind me and killed me, and I really didn't have it secure. I didn't have the trenches around the sides blocked in. I don't think I had enough light, and I should have built a barricade between the cave behind me and the spawner, because I'm just a sitting duck. Anything could have gotten me. I am getting a lot of XP. Now, notice that I was getting good XP. I had 30 XP before I started this, just from farming and mining ores and making glass and clay. There, I'm hungry. And that was a starvation sound. And there it is again, and I'm thinking, are the skeletons hitting me? I still haven't figured out that I'm starving to death. I keep whacking at them. Now it's about 3 or 4 times I've been told that I'm dying. I am dying. I'm losing health, and I'm starving to death. When you work, you burn energy, and you get hungry. Finally figured it out, and all I brought, didn't bring any food with me. All I have is stinking rotten zombie flesh to eat. Now it will fill you up, and it will restore your health. You can see my meat pops now are smooth with the green bubbles. I'm poisoned. That means I'm in a weakened condition. Again, if something jumped down from above, there's a lip, a dirt lip, right over the machine, so they can't jump right from above, but if they jumped down in that hole, they'd have got me. So desperate for XP and goodies that I'm now hitting them with my pickaxe. Not my good iron one, but my cobblestone one. You can, as long as you're within 16 blocks of the spawner, critters will spawn. So I can go off and do something else in the immediate vicinity and let them all just collect there and then come back and kill them. Now I'm killing them with my bare hands. So there's my iron. I got an enchanted book with, was it fire or flame? You can enchant a tool with it. If it's flame and you enchant like a sword with it, every time you hit something with a sword, it will set them on fire. Well, I think that's what it was. I don't remember and I can't see because it's so small in the video editor right now. I'm keeping half the bones and because I'm going to need some for gardening and some for if I come across a dog. Half the zombie flesh for the same reason. If I ever have a pet dog, I'd like to keep it. I'd like to keep it at the mines with me while I'm working. Taking the enchanted book to enchant a sword. Taking all the redstone because I need to build a compass. So there it is, the first ever grinder I ever made in my whole life. Thanks to everybody for teaching me how.